how many people get to turn 16 on New Year's Eve? Mel would say, well, statistically speaking, and then she'd work it out and give me an actual number. And I'd say, not the point, Mel. Not the fucking point. Point is, not many. And how many will be turning 16 at 3 minutes to midnight on New Year's Eve? Maybe just me. I know I was born at 3 minutes to midnight because Lucille reminds me every year. She sighs, shakes her head at me and says, for the sake of 3 minutes. Apparently whoever gives birth to the first baby of the new year gets their picture in the Belfast Telegraph, and she was hoping 2002 would be her year. Brought makeup to the hospital and everything. I think she imagines her 2002 baby, the one born 3 minutes later, the one she was supposed to have, would have been born with a smile on his gob and a golden light round his head. Newsworthy from birth. Instead, for the sake of 3 minutes, she got me. If you ask me, those 3 minutes were the best decision I ever made, because my birthday is always a party, a global bender, and tonight I get to turn 16 on the biggest night of the year, instead of tomorrow, when everyone's hungover and wishing they hadn't promised to join a gym. You are going out, aren't you, Sid? Lucille looks warily at me in the mirrored doors of her wardrobes. I glance warily back at the karaoke machine in the corner of her bedroom. Definitely. Not that you're not welcome to stay, she says, unconvincingly, tugging a comb through the damp peroxide frizz over her undershave. But I'm giving Amy and Jenny a room. If you arrive back here before morning, you'll be sharing with me. I repress the image of sharing a bed with my mother and her satin pyjama shorts. Shudder. No way I'm spending tonight at a karaoke party with a load of old people asking what I want to do at university, then looking pityingly at Lucille when I say, I'm not going to university. I'm starting a band. The pity isn't about my education. It's because Lucille has been counting the days until I move out for 16 years now. If I wanted to go to a crap house party, there are a dozen round here I could have crashed. But they'll all be exactly the same as being in school, because they'll all feature exactly the same people. Tonight isn't about same. In years to come, people will ask what I did for my 16th, and I don't want to have to make stuff up. Tonight has to be special. Where are you going then? Lucille shouts over the roar of the hairdryer. House party at Max. Dev's picking me up. She lets go of the comb mid-stroke and it hangs there like an antenna. Oh, I don't know. I don't like that crowd. And I don't like you tearing around in cars with people who haven't been driving very long. When did Dev pass his test? Wednesday? What? But he's been driving for ages. That was the 5th time he's done his test. Oh, for God's sake. You always end up in trouble when you're with that lot. Not always. I take my lighter out, flick it on and off, on and off. She tuts, but she hasn't time to lecture me about smoking tonight. Being brought home in a police car 3 times is 3 times too many, Sid. It's not like I was lifted for robbing houses. You just act really hammered on the walk home and they stop and give you a lift. It's like a really cheap taxi service. I swear, Sid, if I get a call from the police tonight, you won't. Or the neighbours, Lucille, or the hospital. I mean it. I'm not coming to get you. Wow, thanks. I'll die quietly by myself then. I reach out a melodramatic arm and say, if we never meet again, it's been interesting knowing you, Lucille. She just starts spraying a whole tin of hairspray at herself while I try not to choke. Why don't you go into Belfast? They're doing fireworks at midnight. Fireworks are for old people at weddings. I suppose there'll be alcohol at this party. There will be when I get there. I kick the rucksack at my feet and it clinks. She snaps off the dryer. Sid! I laugh, enjoying this. I could tell Lucille I'm going to an orgy in a crack den and she wouldn't stop me. Not tonight. I'd like to see her face if I said I wasn't going out. Stop stressing, Lucille. It's all cheap shit. Probably doesn't have half the alcohol content of your posh champagne. She buys the posh stuff to show off to her mates. Goes nicely with her big house and her big car.